All right, good morning or good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you watch this. This is the Libra 2022 annual forecast. So you're going to want to catch this video if you have Libra in your big three, so Sun, Moon, Rising, or if love is an area of interest for you, you're going to want to check it out as well. If Venus sits in the sign of Libra. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what 22 has coming up, has in store for you. If you could take a second to subscribe to the channel, like the video, make a little comment, it does help me expand my business and reach more light workers and healers. Okay, well, Libra, beautiful start off to your reading. The overall theme of 2022 is the practice of compassion. It's really interesting because I don't have Libra is not in my big three, but last night I was up at 2 a.m. Googling quotes on compassion, but it says see things from a fresh perspective. So I know I support a lot of Libras in one-on-one sessions as well as in the Wild Hearted Collective, and there's been so many shifts in 2021, and in 2022 this is a deepening of it. This is an opportunity to show up to whatever it is that you're working through, to show up to your mission and look at it from a new perspective. Look at it from what I'm hearing is like from a very open heart and a very open mind, right? There's a little bluebird and squirrel on, it's not a squirrel, it's a mouse, but there's a bluebird, there's a mouse, and there's a butterfly on this card. It's a card number 15, which will break down to a 6, which might resonate for you, Libra. But ultimately, what you are being guided to do in 2022 is to show up with as much compassion for yourself and for others as you can. All right. And I do feel that it is a little bit of a continuation of 2021. It'll tap differently for whoever gets that message. For some of you, yes, it is like another layer of kind of what I'll say is exploring the darker aspects of yourself and your situation. And for others, and showing those darker aspects, compassion. But for others, it's like time for you to rest. It's time for you to show up with compassion and just take it easy, to just chill the hell out for a little bit. Okay. The guide energy is Melchizedek, tripping over my words this morning, higher learning. So what I really would invite you to do in 2022 is, because I know that sometimes it's like, well, I don't want to deal with the same thing. I want something fresh. I want something exciting. I want something just new. Just know that what's being presented, what's directly in front of you, is really an opportunity for you to take your soul's lessons into a higher level of awareness, to ascend into higher levels of love and light, and embody that light and share that not just with your intimate or your close circle of family and friends, but expand that out, really sharing it with what I'm hearing is a global network. Okay, you have learned from experience. So don't receive this message and think, oh my God, I haven't healed, I haven't learned, I haven't gone through enough already, I'm being hit with more. It's actually, it's like taking what you've learned and building on it and expanding upon it, because this is your life's work that you're facing right now. Whatever it is you're working on or working through, or whatever it is you're creating, it very much is in alignment with your highest path. So start to see it in that light, start to see it in that way, rather than, oh my God, another year in the trenches, or oh my gosh, another couple of months dealing with the hard stuff or the darker stuff. It doesn't necessarily mean that for all of you, Libra. I have to tell you, what I'm picking up is it's like a split energy. So definitely check out the other two, your entire big three, and use your intuition to get to what I'm hearing is like, get to the bottom of what is coming forward for you to really take a look at in 2022. Okay. So I will say that with this message, it feels a little vaguer. Now we're only two cards in, less than 5 minutes in, but it does feel like it's going to be a little bit more of a vaguer message than what I received with the other signs. And that just tells me to really nudge you to pay close attention to what your, I'll say your big four, maybe want to add on 5, but your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and perhaps Mars as well. This is definitely going to be a year where your guides are communicating in symbols. So you're going to have a lot of sacred geometry coming to you. You're going to be getting a lot of synchronicity by way of animals, numbers, and all that jazz. Let me take a look, because I had quite a few cards and I was going to put them back in because it felt like too many, but Spirit was like, no. So we have the Princess of Discs, which is a card of manifestation, but this is early stages of the manifestation process. And Spirit wants you to know that what you have your heart on, or what it is you're trying to bring and birth into this world, is going to require a longer commitment, a longer process. And really ask yourself, are you willing and ready to show up to that long-term commitment? All right. Nothing that you are, well, I shouldn't say nothing, even though that's the word that's coming in. Nothing that you are attempting to manifest is going to be able to manifest overnight. This is long haul stuff for you, Libra. And what I can suggest to you from past experiences, to break it up into smaller manifestations. So you have that big picture, you have that full vision. Maybe consider what it is. And I think for you, especially, you want to go month by month or week by week with this, is what smaller manifestations will lead to the bigger one coming into being. There's a lot of, when I look at this energy, there's a lot of healing that's happening for you in 2022, if you allow for it. Okay. But yes, so early stages of the manifestation process, I feel like you're just getting clear on what this next chapter of your life is about, and what it is you want it to include, who it is you want it to include. So again, like I said, early stages manifestation for you, Libra. Second card we have is Strength, which is like almost saying like this is going to take you to really harness your inner power, really come into the heart space and manifest from there. So if you're an overthinker, which I do tend to find Libras tend to be overthinkers, okay, if you're up in your head about this manifestation, about this desire to show up and serve, or to show up and heal, you're going to have to bring it deeper into the body. And don't just stop at the heart, root it down. So all of the chakras really need to be lit up with this manifestation, with this desire in 2022. The other thing that I'm hearing is 2022 is going to show you what you're really made of. There's going to be a lot of times you're going to need to stand up and enforce your boundaries, or uphold your boundaries in these situations. So it might be that perhaps you are stepping fully forward into your spiritual mission. Maybe you're putting it out into the world, and you might be met with some resistance, either from family or friends, or just maybe it doesn't, again, I'm hearing like it's not going to happen overnight. Maybe in your head, it's like, I'm going to put this out into the world and it's going to be an instant success. And while that is always possible in this specific scenario and instance, Spirit is kind of suggesting that I tell you this is unlikely to be the case. And I know that's not a great message, or I know it doesn't feel like a super sexy, exciting, woohoo message, but this is going to require your commitment. It is going to require you to stay connected to it, and to do that inquiry. Like, is this something that you really want to invest the energy and the time and the work into, or do you want to, well, I'm hearing to step away from it or run away from it? So then again, I'm picking up a very forked message here, where it's like, for some of you, it's like it's coming, this manifestation is an ego desire. It's not necessarily coming from a space of like wanting to serve and wanting what's best for the highest good of all. And then for others, that's like for those of you who, when you do that inner work, you probably are going to decide to step away from it. And then there's others where this is a very triggering situation and you're going to want to run, you're going to want to avoid it. And that comes from that very Libra energy of wanting to keep the peace. Because when you go into this shadow work, it's going to almost like tip your world on its head. Or when you go into this, into really anchoring this manifestation in all 7 of your chakras and in all of your being. It's going to bring some stuff up for you. So if you don't already have support, get some support. Get in a soul circle, find a healer that you resonate with. My offerings are down in the video description. If I feel aligned, then definitely like let's collaborate and navigate 2022 together. Okay, but here is what's so powerful, because those are like the intro energies for you with 2022, what you need to know, what you're facing, what you're coming up against. And then right here in the center of these cards, I have the 9 of discs, which is culmination. This is letting you know that 2022, if you show up to it, if you don't run and stuff your head in the sand, is going to be a culminating year. It is going to be bringing many karmic cycles to a close. You are going to find many things that have been wearing on you or burdening you for a very long time start to dissipate. Okay, so tougher energy on the front end. The overall theme, though, remember, practice compassion, because compassion is going to get you through. Compassion is getting you to the other side. Now, I'm hearing around August, September, you're going to really start to see these chapters close. Okay, so the bulk of your year is spent doing some deeper inner work, or to really showing up, harnessing your power, getting anchored into your manifestations, and then things start to happen. Okay, so when I was hearing like this is for the long haul, this is a long term or early stages, I was thinking 18 months, but Spirit's actually shortening that time frame for you, or is shortening that time frame, so it's not the one that I had originally anticipated. Okay, but sorry, I had something on my tooth. That culminating energy is bringing you into that divine feminine power. We have card number 3. This is the Empress. I love the way the Empress is represented in this deck. But this is really about abundance and prosperity and nurturing that which you desire rather than that which you do not. And there is this energy of, for some of you, it's not a bad idea to sit with your goals for 2022 or your intentions or your desires and really explore and examine where exactly it is they're coming from. Are they coming from the heart? Are they coming from the soul, something on a soul level, or are they coming from the ego? This is a turning point for you in the human experience. You're going to start seeing things, experiencing things, and moving forward in a way that's different than ever before. But again, it brings you into your divine feminine power. I think you're going to do the work that's necessary. What I'm hearing is, oh, I love this. I love this for you. And I love this for all of the Libras that are on my heart right now. Listen, so this is going to bring you into doing what you need to do and not 1 ounce more. So showing up and doing the healing that you have to do and not trying to do the healing for other people need to do. You show up and say, I give it my best shot, and you find this peace that I'm doing what I need to do. I'm showing up for my journey, and I'm showing up to manifest that which I really want in my life, but I can only do so much. And it's not a disempowering, I can only do so much. It's not a victim, I can only do so much. It's like, shit, here you are, woman, showing up in your power, staking a claim in what you want, but also recognizing that you need to be met halfway. Okay. And I'm actually hearing this beautiful, I wish I could remember who what first told it to me, but there's this belief that relationships, because there is a relationship energy here, and it might not just be with a romantic partner, it could be with children, it could be like an entire family system, but I wish I could remember so I could give appropriate credit. But relationships are not 50-50. They're 100-100. And it takes both people showing up to do the work. And it takes both people showing up and wanting it to work and wanting this to become a solid connection built on love and kindness and compassion. Okay. So again, I see you showing up and doing what is meant for you to do and not taking on the healing of others as you have in the past. That is such a freaking powerful message for you, Libra. All right. And then we have the King of Swords, who's all about authority. So knowing that you are the authority on your life. What I see happening for you is a going within that's happening in 2022 that has not been there. So it's less processing outside of yourself and more going within. It's less sharing of your journey and comparing journeys. Oh, that's interesting. Ooh, didn't anticipate that one. But it's less like comparing and more like being like, what's the word that's coming through? It's like there's a little bit more privacy happening where it's you're giving yourself the space in order to do what you need to do without so like it's interesting because it's like without so much support, but in a very positive way. Because it's like, yes, get support, but they're saying they're saying get qualified support. All right. So that's what they have for you right now. But let's go ahead and just see. That feels like a more personal life type energy. Let's go ahead and get specific on mission for the final cards. Okay, thank you. All right, they're saying it's interconnected. Aha, I love it. Okay. So first up, we have the card boundaries. And I do feel like your boundaries with yourself are going to be very important in 2022. Again, it's that energy of I'm not taking on more than what is for me to take on. Where do you need to establish some better boundaries? I think that this is actually speaking to across the board. It's time to take a complete, it's time to take a what do I want to call it? An overall. So I'm hearing the word overall and overhaul. So it's like you want to take a look at your connections overall and then do a little bit of an overhaul. But that's what's really speaking right now. I don't feel any malice. I don't feel like sabotage or anything like that. I just feel like what I'm hearing is like not relying on other people to do the processing for you. So take general reading, take what resonates. Not all of this is going to resonate with everybody that watches, but yeah, it's learning to process for yourself. And even like after, if you're a journaler or, however you process, after you do it, rather than maybe then sharing it, sitting with it just a bit longer. And then we have the star mother energy. How can you mother yourself? So self-care and self-love is going to be hugely important for you in 2022. Mother Mary will work quite closely with you in the upcoming year. So watch for roses, watch for the smell of roses. It's almost like, so I'm seeing like just a woman like bundled up on the couch with it's not a cloak, like just like a very cozy blanket and just like being with herself. And that's going to be very nurturing and nourishing, because one of the big messages that's coming through right now is that it's that you are not as bad as you think you are, or are not as messy as you think you are. So whatever adjective you would use to describe yourself in your process right now or what you're going through, Spirit wants you to sit with it and just know that it's time to let that go a little bit, because that's a narrative that you're continuing to tell yourself and it's not altogether true. And again, this is 2022. This is a lengthy process that you're on, and I would say not a bad one. And thinking about my own journey, I've had a lot of times where I've had to do this, where I've had to shut out the world, where I've stopped speaking to family and friends, and I've literally gone into the cave. It was like I communicate with people bare minimum, and I was still involved in things. I still went out occasionally, and I still answered the phone and whatnot, but I wasn't it was just like there was a different nature to it, and it was some of the most healing and impactful moments on my path. Okay. All right, so you are looking for an answer to a question, and Spirit is saying no. And this is my no, not yet, or no, not now, or no, take it how it resonates. It says wait, postpone, pause, say no. There's just more information that you're going to be gathering. Information? Yeah, it's like there's more information you're gathering. intellectually over the next 12-ish months, and there's more remembering that you have to do. There's more listening to your heart space, listening to what you want, what your soul is speaking. And that's where the answers are. That's where the what they're saying is like, that's where the outcome lies. Okay. I want to get you one more card. I'm sorry if you can hear all of the fire trucks outside. I live down the road from a fire station, and they go off all the time, or they're constantly running from one fire to the other. Aren't we all? All right, so your final energy, we have card number 3, and I love this for you. It is so beautiful. Calming the waters, peaceful self-regulation. And doesn't that really hold that energy that we were talking about of less processing externally, more processing internally? Libra, I know that this has been a reading. I don't think it's anything that you weren't kind of anticipating, if I'm feeling that correctly in my heart. But I want you to know that this part of your chapter, this part of your spiritual journey is allowing you to really go some places. It's allowing you to really start to get into the goodness of life. It won't be without its hiccups. It won't be without its hurts or, heartbreaks. I don't love to put that out there. Doesn't that seem so extreme? But this chapter isn't without that. But in the end of this 12-month cycle, what you're coming through with is such a stronger sense of self, so much more love for yourself, so much more confidence, and the ability. I was just listening. Okay. What I'm hearing is it's like the ability to be on your own. And that doesn't mean if you're working on a relationship thing, it doesn't mean like, oh my God, I'm going to end up alone by the end. That's not what I'm picking up. It's like, be on your own in your processing, in your emotions, trusting your intuition and your own self. It's a really powerful message, and it's so exciting. And I love it for you, Libra. Okay, so that's what I have for you. Let me know how it resonates. And again, check out your other big signs. And if you want to get monthly Zodiac readings, head on over and join Member Circle. And if you want some community support, if you want to be in a space that is specifically designed to hold space for healers, check out Wild Hearted Collective. It's something really special. And I think it'll be of service to you in this upcoming year. And no, if you're like, she's just saying that because I'm sure every video says that, I don't say that. But from what I'm reading here, from what I'm picking up, we are capable of holding you and allowing you to be in your process and be held. Okay. I love you. Have a beautiful 2022. And I am almost certain that we'll end up working together in some way, shape, or form. Okay. Bye.
So